Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of the corporate world's sometimes wild roller coaster. And trust me, today's ride is a doozy, as we'll see a company literally disappear from the stock market. We're diving into a fascinating filing today from Mural Oncology PLC, a company that's been making waves, or perhaps preparing for a final splash. This document, a Form 8K, is essentially a report from major events that shareholders need to know about right away. Think of it like a company's urgent bulletin board. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, if you like getting these kinds of insider looks at corporate moves, make sure you are subscribed to the channel and join our Discord community linked in the description below for even more real-time insights. So what's the big news with Mural Oncology? Well, it's the completion of a major acquisition. This report details how the company has been officially bought out. This means Mural Oncology as an independent listed company is no more. It has been absorbed. Let's break down what this actually means for shareholders and the company itself. We've seen this before with other companies. It is a pretty standard, albeit significant move in the corporate world. Big companies often buy smaller ones to gain access to new technologies, markets, or to eliminate competition. In this case, Mural Oncology has been acquired by Zoma Royalty Corporation, with the deal closing on the 5th of December. 2025. Now, what did this mean for the people who owned pieces of Mural Oncology, the shareholders? They were supposed to get cash for their shares. The deal was structured so that each ordinary share, which was valued at a nominal $0.01, was bought for $2.035 in cash. That means if you own shares, you got a little over $2 for each one you held. For those who had stock options or restricted stock units, those were also converted into cash payments. Options were paid out the difference between the cash offer and the options exercise price, and restricted stock units got the cash offer straight up. If an options exercise price was too high, essentially more than the offer price, those options were just cancelled with no payout, which is a bummer for those holders. This section is all about the completion of the acquisition or disposition of assets. It's essentially the official stamp that the deal is done. It confirms that all the necessary legal steps have been taken, the court has approved it, and the shares have been transferred. And with the acquisition complete comes the inevitable delisting. This means Mural Oncology shares are no longer traded on the Nasdaq stock market. The company notified Nasdaq about the deal's completion and requested their shares be removed from trading. So, if you were looking to buy or sell Mural Oncology shares on the 6th of December 2025, you wouldn't find them anymore. The company also plans to file paperwork to suspend its reporting obligations with the SEC, meaning they'll stop filing these detailed public reports because they are no longer a public entity. This item covers material modifications to the rights of security holders. In simple terms, after the acquisition, shareholders no longer have any rights as owners of Mural Oncology. Their only remaining right is to receive the cash they were promised. They've essentially cashed out. This is a big one. It signifies a change in control of the registrant. When Zoma Royalty Corporation bought Mural Oncology, they gained control of the company. Zoma Royalty is now the parent company, and Mural Oncology is now a part of their larger operations. Funding for this acquisition came from Zoma Royalty's existing cash reserves, which suggests they had the financial muscle to pull this off without needing to borrow heavily. Now let's talk about the people in charge. As part of this acquisition, there were some significant changes in leadership. Several directors and officers have stepped down. For instance, Francis Cuss, George Golombeski, Benjamin Hickey, Scott Jackson, and Sachio Minigishi have all resigned from the board. These are common changes when a company is acquired, often by mutual agreement, not necessarily due to disputes. However, on the flip side, Owen Hughes and Bradley Sitko have been appointed as new directors. And it's not just directors. Owen Hughes has also taken on the role of Chief Executive Officer and Secretary for the company. Caroline Liu, who was a director, has also stepped down from her role as an officer. Adam Cutler and Vicky Goodman, also officers, have been terminated to soften the blow. These individuals who were terminated as officers received severance payments as outlined in their employment agreements, especially following a change in control. The filing mentions that biographical information for the new directors, Hughes and Sitko, can be found in Zoma Royalty's proxy statement from April 2025. This section deals with changes to the company's foundational documents. Effectively, the company's memorandum and articles of association, which are like its internal rulebook and constitution, have been amended. These changes are in line with the resolutions approved earlier as required to facilitate the acquisition. And finally, to cap it all off, on the 5th of December 2025, the company issued a press release to officially announce that the acquisition was complete. This is standard practice to inform the public and investors that the major transaction has successfully concluded. This is where we see the exhibits, the supporting documents for this report. We have the original transaction agreement, which lays out all the terms of the deal, the amended memorandum and articles of association, and importantly, the press release announcing the acquisition. It also includes the interactive data file, which is a standardized format for financial information. Looking at this whole situation, it is clear that Mural Oncology has completed its journey as an independent public company. The acquisition by Xoma Royalty means the company's focus and operations will likely be integrated into Xoma Royalty's broader strategy. For shareholders, this marks the end of their investment in Mural Oncology as a separate entity with a clear cash payout. The key takeaway here is that if you held Mural Oncology shares, your investment has concluded with a defined return. The main risk or opportunity here is whether this acquisition proves beneficial for Xoma Royalty in the long run. Will Mural Oncology's technology or pipeline contribute significantly to Xoma Royalty's growth? The filing doesn't give us the detailed financial performance details of Mural Oncology right before the acquisition, so we can't do a deep dive into their numbers. We're focused on the event itself, which is the sale and delisting. While we don't have specific financial tables to dissect their past performance, the fact that Xoma Royalty paid $2.035 per S-Hair indicates their valuation of Mural Oncology's assets and future potential. In conclusion, the story here is one of successful consolidation. Mural Oncology, as an independent company, is now history on the stock exchange. Its assets and operations are now part of Xoma Royalty. For investors, it's about cashing out. For Xoma Royalty, it is about integrating a new piece into their business. It will be interesting to watch how Xoma Royalty leverages what they've acquired. Alright? That is our breakdown of Mural Oncology's latest filing. What is your take on MA company disappearing through acquisition? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.